בהכרחם עובדים לשם חמי עצורים מנות בכל מגרים אדוני צוואדים למקודות אשר דמי ארבע חמי השם נכננו כל וארבע גם נכננו דבר בשלום כלי עולם ושנים קדמוניות
Chazak Baruch, Boker Tov Rabbatai. It says in the Shulchan Aruch, Siman Dalet, or Chaim, something interesting. If a person wakes up in the morning, he doesn't have any water to wash his hands. Usually this problem we don't have today because we have running water. But sometimes it happens, you never know. So the question is, what do you do if you don't have any water? How do you prepare yourself for tefillah, for birkat hashachar? Right? What do you do? So the truth is that when you don't have any water, there's really no way to get the ruach ra off your hands. There's no way to do it. The only way is water. There's no substitute for that. So what you do is, it says in the Shulchan Aruch that you're allowed to say the birkat hashachar even though you didn't wash your hands. So you can say birkat hashachar, okay, and your hands have ruach ra on them, no problem. But what we do is like this. If you want to pray like this, okay, and you still have ruach ra on your hands, there's no water. So what you do is, you take something which is abrasive, some dirt or a towel or something, your beged, your talit even says, right? It says in the Mishnah Berurah, you can use your talit to rub your hands on it, and this way it gets at least cleaned. If it's not the tilat yadayim, which takes off the ruach ra, but at least it cleans the hands. So therefore, like that, you can pray without any water. Even though you have ruach ra on your hands, you can still pray. So the rule is, though, that something which surprises us is like this, right? And it brings down the Bet Yosef, in the Rosh, that if a person does this, and he rubs his hands on something abrasive and cleans his hands, the question is, does he make a bracha? What bracha do you make on that? Is there a bracha for that? Right? So it says in the Rosh, you make Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, al nekiyut yadayim. Nekiyut yadayim. Netilat yadayim you cannot say. Why? Because you're not washing your hands. Nekiyut means cleanliness, So you're cleaning your hands. So therefore, says the Rosh, you make al nekiyut yadayim. So the question is this the halacha, or is it just one opinion? So when the Shulchan Aruch, he passes like the Rosh, that in the morning, if you don't have any water, you make al nekiyut yadayim. This is the way he passes. So I said to myself, maybe, there's also other opinions, whatever. So I looked in the Mishnah Berurah, I looked in Yakut Yosef. The truth is, they all seem to agree the same thing. So the rule is that if you don't have any water, it's a very rare occurrence, but what you do is, as we said, you clean your hands, you make al nekiyut yadayim, and then you do your prayers, you do kriyat shema and tefillah, even though you have ruach ra on your hands. It's a very difficult thing to do, but what can you do? This is the way it is. So what that means is that the ruach ra doesn't prevent you from praying if there's no water. But something interesting is that says the Rashba regarding this, that if a person, depends on how a person slept. So what does that mean? In the old days, by the way, it seems like most people slept naked. They really didn't have like a pajama or underwear. They didn't have those things in those days. They pretty much slept naked. So what that means is that when you sleep naked, your hands are groping around, as you sleep, and you touch your body, right, in places, which are covered. So therefore, says the Rashba, you cannot say the Shem Hashem with this kind of situation. Why? Because your hands are dirty from the sweat of the body. So in a case like that, if you were sleeping naked and you touched yourself on the body, says the Rashba, you cannot do any brachot. This is the halakha. So the truth is that what we said regarding that you can say anekut yadayim and wash your hands, that's true. But what we said regarding that if you haven't washed your hands, you can still do birkat hashachar. That's only if you didn't sleep naked. But if you slept naked and your hands touched, you first have to clean your hands at least. First you got to clean your hands with something abrasive, some dirt, or use a towel or something, whatever, which can get the dirt off your hands or a sweat, and then you can make you can pray and do birkat hashachar and say kriyat shema and tefillah. So this is the way it's done. One more thing I want to tell you, right, regarding, I remember, several times over here, I hate to say it, but not proper what they do. Sometimes they bring a magician, to do magic tricks for the children or things like this, Purim or whatever, So the truth is that this is a prohibition from the Torah, according to the Rambam. It says in the Torah, right, regarding the prohibition of me'onen. It's one of the kishufim, one of the parts of sorcery. So it says the Rambam, you know what that means? It means that a person does magic tricks. So according to the Rambam, it's prohibited to see somebody doing magic tricks. So therefore, you're not allowed to invite somebody like to come to entertain the people, because it's an isur deoraita. According to this, it's from the Torah. Even though there's another opinion which says that this is not from the Torah and it's not really forbidden, but it's a minority opinion. So therefore, the major opinion is in the Rambam, and also brought down in Shulchan Aruch, and also in the Be'atev and in the Bach. The rule is that you're not allowed to watch a magician to do tricks. But there is one thing that Maran says in his book Yehav Adat. He says that if you bring a goy to do it, it's okay. if you have a goy magician, right? Don't bring a Jewish guy. So what's the reason why a goy is okay? Because he doesn't have the prohibition of doing magic tricks. Only we have that. So since he's not prohibited to do that, for him it's mutar. So therefore there's no problem. So if a really person wants to do this, to bring a magician, at least bring a goy. Baruch Adonai leolam. Amen. Amen.